Hey guys, what is going on? It is your boy Bumpy back on the Hypixel network, and guys, in today's video we are going to be discussing my tonsillectomy. And if you don't know what a tonsillectomy is, basically it is a surgical procedure to get rid of your tonsils that are in the back of your throat. So guys, that is today's topic. I'm gonna go ahead and hop into a game here and I will see you all there. Alright guys, we're hopping into the first game here, and before I get into my whole tonsillectomy topic, be sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate it. So yes guys, basically I discovered that I had big tonsils back in, I'd say around September or October of 2021. And how I discovered that I had big tonsils was through my doctor. I actually switched doctors around that time in September. The first checkup appointment that I had with that new doctor, basically my doctor was like, "Bumpy, you have big tonsils." Okay, well maybe he didn't call me Bumpy, you know. But anyway, basically what ended up happening is he recommended me to a oral surgeon who does a bunch of different surgeries for patients like that have to do with the throat and the mouth and all that good stuff. And this guy is running away from us. I think I saw a knockback stick is what he had. Yep, he definitely has a KB stick. Hello, sir. I see your tricks. Okay, goodbye, sir. You're done. But yeah, so basically my doctor recommended me to that oral surgeon, and I went in for a checkup appointment, I think around October, and basically that guy is basically confirming that my tonsils are big. He's like, "Mr. Bumpy, your doctor is correct. You do in fact have big tonsils." He's like, "Whoa, those things are just massive." And I'm just like, okay, this is great. I have big tonsils. So what does this mean, doc? What are you trying to say here? And the surgeon's like, "Well, Mr. Bumpy, what you can do is if you get your tonsils out, it'll actually help you improve your breathing." And I'm like, sweet, I want to be able to breathe better. Honestly, my breathing has been fine in my life, but I always noticed that sometimes it is difficult for me to breathe at night. You know, if I have a stuffy nose or something, I do notice that it is hard for me to breathe like more than the average person would be able to, if that makes sense. And my surgeon was like, "Yeah, dude, if you get your tonsils out, basically that'll help improve your breathing when you sleep, and it'll basically help get rid of all the infections that you'll get, like throat infections and all that negative stuff that comes along with having your tonsils." An example of this would be getting sore throats. Those would clear up a lot faster if you do get them. And okay, this man's trying to fireball me. And also getting strep throat is a common thing for a lot of people, including myself. And he said, my doctor said, if I get my tonsils out, that won't happen as well. Strep throat will be a lot less common for you. Let's go, baby. This guy's trying to fireball me when I have... Dude, this guy's like saying, how in the world did I just land that clutch? Well, sir, I have the skills to pay the bills. We're gonna take your bed, we're gonna run away, and we're going to say hey. And he left the game. That is actually, oh wait, what the heck? Oh, that's brutal. Invis? Okay, I can't deal with that. But yeah, basically my surgeon is listing off all these benefits for me getting my tonsils out. I'm just like, you know what? The surgery itself won't be that bad, but you know, he was saying that the recovery for the surgery is really bad. The surgery takes like 30 minutes max, but he was saying like a week or 2 weeks after the surgery, it was gonna be rough. And that was the one downside for me getting my tonsils out. So I actually did have a decision to make on the whole topic thing, because obviously a week is, you know, or 2 weeks is really the time frame that he was giving me that the recovery was going to be like. And I'm just like, well, that kind of sucks. I mean, 2 weeks of, you know, lots of pain. Is it worth me, you know, is it really worth it for me to get my tonsils out, was the decision I had to make. Let's go, baby. We're about to end this man's whole career. Let's go, GG. But yeah, so I genuinely had a tough decision to make if I wanted to endure 2 weeks of pain, or if I just wanted to, you know, suck it up and deal with the consequences of having my tonsils for the rest of my entire life. That's the one thing I had to think about, because like I would have my tonsils for the rest of my life, and there's, you know, lots of benefits if I get them out. So I genuinely was struggling with the decision. However, I did come to the conclusion that my bed is gone and I don't want to have to deal. Sir, get out of here. But yes, I finally made the decision after about, I'd say, a few days of thinking about it. I did come to the conclusion that I did want to get my tonsils out because the benefits did outweigh the consequences, in my opinion. Okay, that was easier than I thought it would be. Let's take this guy out. Okay, this guy just let me get his... Okay, GG. Damn, okay, he got me. GG, sir. So what ended up happening was I scheduled my surgery for over the winter break that I have for my school. And that is usually, well, that takes place in December. So my surgery was scheduled for December 13th was the date. And with a 2-week recovery time frame, basically that puts me at right before Christmas where the recovery would take me to. So it was a good time to get my tonsils out because I didn't want to have to deal with recovery during school, because school obviously takes up time and energy and all that, and I want to focus on recovering and not having to do any schoolwork or anything like that. So that's why I chose the time frame that I did. So finally December came around, and eventually and yeah, basically it was time for my surgery. And so everything was going good with the whole process. I got to the hospital where I was getting my surgery done, and they had some basic check-in requirements and stuff like that. And this guy needs to... Oh my gosh, you lucky son of a boy. Oh, come on. He barely got it. That's so frustrating. But yeah, so after I got checked in and everything, they basically made me go to a waiting room for a few minutes. And eventually, I had to actually change out of all my clothes, which I had no idea. Like, this is a throat surgery. So I did not expect to have to change out of my clothes for this particular surgery. But apparently, it's standard protocol. Anytime you get surgery of any kind, the protocol is you change out of your clothes into a gown that the hospital makes you, get into. So in my mind, I'm just like, okay. And so the nurse, she's like, okay, I'll give you a few minutes to change, and then I'll be back in with all your pre-medications and stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay, this is like super weird. I now have to change. And like the only thing separating me from other people was just this slidable curtain that anybody could pull at any time. So I'm just I'm sitting there. And I'm just like, okay, I really have to, get naked right now and change my whole entire outfit. And I'm just like, okay, this is one of the weirdest things not that I've ever done, but like it was up there for the weirdness scale. It was definitely an uncomfortable spot for sure, but I got through it. I changed, and the gown was definitely difficult to get into. It was simple, but it was like complicated at the same time, if that makes sense. Like looking back, I definitely could have, easily gotten into the gown because I know how to work it now. But like the gown, it was just a weird shape, and it didn't, fit right at first. And then the nurse actually had to help me adjust the gown so it would fit properly. She didn't have to see anything, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, she didn't see any of that, but she just had to, hey, I'm trying to talk about stuff here, bro. Come on now. But yeah, basically she had to help me get my gown on is what I'm trying to say. So that was very embarrassing. That was not the highlight of the day for sure. But the surgery went well and everything. Everything was fine with the surgery. They got my tonsils out, and they were actually bigger than what my doctor originally thought. He thought they were, good sized tonsils, but when he actually took them out, he said they were even bigger than what he thought they were. So I'm very fortunate that I was able to get the surgery, because I definitely think it's going to benefit me for the rest of my life. So it's definitely a clutch thing that I got that surgery, and I'm very happy that I went through with it. But the recovery, they weren't kidding when they said it was gonna be brutal. Because it was. My throat hurt a lot. Now, you can do things to manage the pain of the surgery. They basically gave me pain medication that would really reduce the pain, and it did. It helped a lot. I'm glad that they had that available, because, back in the day, there was no such thing as pain medication. So I'm glad that I live in a time where I'm able to have access to medications and surgeries that will, benefit my life. But yeah, the recovery time frame was about 2 weeks, and this guy needs to die. Hold on, I need to get the dub here. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, you're done. You're done, you're done. Let's go, baby, GG. So one thing about the recovery of a tonsillectomy that I want to mention is that I would say it's not as bad as what people made it out to be. The recovery is bad, but it's not something that you can't manage. Like I was saying with the pain medications, if you take them, when you're supposed to take them, it'll be less than what obviously it would be otherwise. Okay, for some reason he let me get his bed, which is nice because I can just one tap him. But yeah, if you're ever thinking about getting a tonsillectomy, I do recommend it, especially if your tonsils are, you know, big. So I do recommend it. I think it is worth it because you're gonna have no tonsils for the rest of your life. So that's why I think it's definitely a good investment for yourself. But that's really only if you have oversized tonsils, because if you have regular sized tonsils, you probably don't have any issues with that. So it really is up to you when it comes to that whole thing. But there we go. Let's get him out of the game. Let's go, baby. But yeah, like I said, I was eating solid foods on day 2 of recovery, and really I recommend buying, you know, applesauce and pudding and popsicles. I actually really didn't eat popsicles though. That's the one thing. Like, popsicles to me, they're just not my sort of go-to move, because after I was eating solid foods, I mean, I really like solid food over popsicles in my opinion. Popsicles are not my favorite thing to eat. But yeah, you can find all sorts of information on Google as well. The internet has all sorts of recommendations and stuff, and I would watch a few YouTube videos on recoveries from people, but I definitely think it was worth it because my throat overall stopped hurting completely after about 2.5 weeks, but after about a week and a half, it was very, very minimal pain, so I wouldn't even call it bad at all. So I'd say after about a week and a half, I'd say is when I was, you know, completely fine when it came to that whole thing. But that pretty much wraps up the topic. I really want to focus on getting this win here, so let's go ahead and do that. No! Let's go! Let's go, baby! We came in clutch today. We came in clutch. That's how we roll, baby. That's how we do it in this house. I almost botched that fight. Luckily, I got my big boy pants on, and we out-clicked him. We just completely destroyed that man. But guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy my story of my tonsillectomy. But guys, with that being said, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I will talk to you all later. Have a fantastic, wonderful, beautiful day. And guys, with that being said, peace out.